Hey. I wanted to come on here because I was thinking this week has been a doozy. If you've been following my posts, then you know that I have a friend who lost her son in a senseless killing this past weekend. It was his birthday. He had just turned 20 and he was hit. I guess it was a semi automatic weapon that hit him multiple times and he died on the scene. When I went to see my friend, I was amazed by her strength. I know it's nobody but God. No one could give someone that kind of a peace after something like this. I know in the beginning she was in shock, right? I know her heart is broken. But I watched her do an interview where she said she forgives the person who did this, which is unimaginable. But I realized that forgiveness is not for the person, but it's for yourself. As one of my mentors says, it's not about letting someone else off the hook, but it's taking yourself off the hook. Because we know that forgiveness, holding it in your heart, can be deadly. You don't want that bitterness, that anger to be there. But for her to get to that place so soon is remarkable. It's astounding to me. She's going to do the eulogy for her son tomorrow. And I don't know. I mean, I know where the strength is coming from, but it's just amazing to watch how God shows up when you need him to. There's tons of us that are praying for her and the family, and will continue to pray because she has to get through the eulogy, and then she has the time where she'll be alone, where people start disappearing and face reality. And especially because her kid was a good kid, just a good kid. He was a scholar, an athlete, an entrepreneur. He was funny. She always talks how he reminded her of her brother who was killed at the age of 21. He was one of those people who loved riding motorcycles. And here in Cleveland, typically in October, we will go cold. But then we may have a good day again. And it was that one good day that we had that he went back out there on his bike and got hit by a car. And he died at the age of 21. And so her son was a reminder of her brother, who was like her son too. I just remember when we were in college, he was a few years younger, so he was nowhere near college age, but he always was on campus. Like she always had him on campus with her. And so I know it was a joy to be able to have a son who reminded you of someone who you lost at a young age and someone who you love so much. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough, but I just am in awe. She did an interview on the news the other day, and in the interview, she mentioned that she forgives the person who did this. Those words, that's where my tears start falling because that's deep. This is so new. This person who killed her son, it just happened Sunday morning on his birthday when he turned 20. And you're saying that you forgive him. But what I know is that forgiveness is not about the other person. And that's where sometimes we get it wrong. It's not about letting the other person off the hook. But as my mentor always says, it's about letting yourself off the hook. Because when you hold unforgiveness in your heart, bitterness, anger, it can destroy you. And I'm glad that she's not allowing that to control her. She mentioned yesterday that once she changed her thinking and realized the privilege it was to have been her son's mother and to have raised him and to have had that time with him, that was a gift from God. Of course, you would want him forever, right? I mean, who would not when it's your child? But she recognizes that he was on loan. And it was just, you know, amazing to see that. But I wanted to share something because I was thinking about this, and it's been a while since I've heard these words. I had gone to Michigan a couple of weeks ago for one of my friends' program. It was a award ceremony for people who received the Presidential Lifetime Achievement Awards. So people would come up and give their thank yous. And one person said something that stuck with me. And he said that his grandfather always told him, do what you can while you can, because Cain is coming. Do what you can while you can, because Cain is coming. There'll be a time when we can't do what it is that we want to do, what it is that we're purposed to do, what we're called to do. So we need to do it now. Life is short, as I was reminded of again this weekend with the loss of this young man. Life is short. We don't know our last days. We don't know our last day, our last hour, our last minute, our last breath. So while you have it, you need to get busy doing what it is that you're supposed to do. This is definitely not a time for me to promote anything that I offer in regards to that. I do that in other videos, and I probably will do something more or post something, but I really, really just want us to be intentional with our lives, because we are creating our legacy every day with every person we touch, every person we connect with. My friend, talked about when she had her son, that was her first child. She has a daughter as well. When she had her son, that she just wanted him to grow up to be this amazing person who was going to do amazing things in this world. And in his little 20 years of life, he did just that. He made a difference in his community and the people whose lives he's touched. One night I couldn't sleep because my spirit just wasn't settled. And I decided to read tributes to him, and just to see all the people who spoke great words about him, the love that they showed to him, talking about how he was a gentleman, how kind he was. In that 20 years of life, he impacted people. He was an entrepreneur who did something with sneakers, and he would give sneakers away to people who needed them and couldn't afford to get some themselves. This guy was amazing. So I ask you, in your X amount of years, like, what is it that your legacy is? When you leave this place, what will people be saying about you? Sometimes when I do coaching, I ask people to write their eulogy. Like, what is it that people will say about you if you were to die today? And is it something that you want to be remembered for? Because if not, you have the chance to change it. So if you're up for it, and don't think of it as a morbid thing, because it's not. We all will leave this place at some time. It's just a matter of being intentional as to how you show up in the world. When you connect with someone, when you touch someone's lives, how are you doing that? And what does it say about you? So that's all I have for now. I just wanted to share that with you because it was on my heart, and yeah, it was on my heart. So have a great rest of the day. If nothing else, know that I love you, that I am here to support you however I can. Because I tell you, when I went through cancer, my two experiences with that and facing death, It was a reminder for me. It was a wake-up call, really, but it was a reminder that we don't have that much time. We don't know when our last days will be. It is a privilege to grow old, to grow older. It's a privilege. All righty. I'm gone for real. Take care. Bye-bye.